Hello, happy hump day. Okay, so y'all know that I get a little crazy with research and dig deep when I'm working on a new program or a new project, and the whole mineral process is amazing, totally amazing, as I'm now doing these tests on so many people, including myself. And it's brought lots of questions to mind. So when I was in practice in traditional medicine, my recommendation for vitamin D was always 5,000 units every day in the winter and 2,000 units a day in the summer. That usually sustains it. And I always figured that if you live in a sunnier place than Ohio and Pennsylvania, you needed less vitamin D. Well, until I started getting vitamin D levels back from people in Florida, and they were no better than ours, right? It did not make any sense to me. So, because the minerals are so important to so many things, I started doing a deep dive to see do you even need vitamin D supplementation? Because so many providers blow it off, and that drives me crazy. But here's what I am finding out and figuring out. So your basic minerals are so important for so many things. And today I'm going to talk about cholesterol and vitamin D and what these underlying essential minerals do. So as far as vitamin D goes, magnesium and zinc are essentially gatekeepers for the vitamin D activation. So if you don't have the basic minerals underlying the supplementation, you can pop all the vitamin D you want, but you're still going to be deficient. So kind of like, putting gas in your Ferrari, but there are no spark plugs in it. And again, you all know I don't know a whole lot about cars, but I do know that spark plugs make it work. Okay, so now vitamin D and cholesterol. Vitamin D is made from cholesterol. It is a fat-soluble vitamin. This is one of the reasons why cholesterol is so important, and it can be too low. Remember, I say it all the time, cholesterol is the mother hormone. So not only is the precursor to hormones, and it makes all your hormones, it also helps make fat-soluble vitamins. So if you're megadosing vitamin D, but you're on a statin and your cholesterol, hi Caitlin, and your cholesterol is really low, guess what? You're not making any vitamin D because you don't have the cholesterol to do so. Also, since 70 to 80% of your cholesterol is made in your liver, hi Stephanie, if your liver is stressed out, guess what? You're not making the vitamin D you need to be making. So again, if you're supplementing randomly and have cholesterol issues or liver congestion, it's not going to be working. So you're basically just throwing vitamin D into a pool that is kind of swampy, and your body's not able to do anything with it. So if you're supplementing with vitamin D and you're not noticing it's budging, then we need to have your minerals checked, because those are the little worker bees in the background. All right, so now let's talk about minerals and lipids. Magnesium helps regulate your lipid metabolism and your insulin. So without magnesium, you're going to see rising cholesterol regardless of eating a clean diet. Minerals are kind of like the metabolic police. So again, blind supplementation is not paying attention to the rules of the road. This is why you hear me say all the time that supplementing without knowing if you need it doesn't make any sense, because you're just throwing crap into a situation that you don't know you need, and it might be making a bad situation worse. there is so much more involved in just replacing one simple supplement, because it's always so much more complicated than we all want it to be. This is why I say all the time, a little knowledge is dangerous, and please do not get your advice from, a TikTok influencer who takes one thing out of context. Take that information and research it. Go to a functional medicine provider who knows what they're doing. Hi. And ask the right questions, because what works for one person doesn't work for everybody else, and you absolutely want to be headed down the right road. So more isn't always better. Everything is involved, right? So the thing is, if you're doing some blind supplementation and taking, lots of vitamin D in hopes to boost up your vitamin D levels, thinking that's your problem, if you don't have all the other factors in place, if the minerals aren't balanced to do what they're supposed to do, excess vitamin D can push calcium into tissues and your arteries, and we do not want calcium buildup. Think plaque in the arteries. Not good. So too much zinc can deplete copper. It can also weaken your immune system. So this is one of the issues with a lot of those supplements that we call synergistic blends, that they have, if you take a hair and skin supplement, it's going to have a little of zinc, a little biotin, it's going to have a little bit of everything. So you kind of get stuck, excuse me, you kind of get stuck in that situation where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to take this brain supplement because I've got brain fog, and I'm going to take this hair and nail supplement because my hair's falling out. Well, what's happening is you start supplementing, and all those synergistic blends that have a little bit of this and a little bit of that adds up to a balance off. So blindly supplementing can throw balance off. Let's see. Also, high dose vitamin D without magnesium increases your risk of kidney stones, constipation, and mood swings. So don't keep popping vitamin D unless you know your minerals are on point. It's a complex system. Our bodies are a complex system. They all work together. So you all know by now I'm a very visual person, right? So I always imagine like the, old machines with all the little cogs and spins and dials, constantly working. And our body always wants to find balance. Even if it's a little out of balance, it will find the balance for the most important systems. And your body starts to get used to that. It's kind of your new normal. So what I have found, and Caitlin has found, that as we're doing this mineral supplementation, again, with the Mineral Investigation Panel, it is amazing the amount of information we get from a little bit of hair, and making a blend of minerals that is literally that is individualized to you. As the minerals start to get into balance, you end up getting a whole detox, which is a little tricky at first, but you can just literally feel all of these toxins leaving your body. And I say all the time, they go out kicking and screaming. So when you're doing something like this, any kind of good detox, I think so many people end up quitting before they get the benefit of it, because they think they're doing something wrong, because you get a rash, get achy, feel flu-like. Those are all the toxins leaving your body, and you have to maybe take a step back, use a proper binder, and listen to your body and kind of keep pushing through very gently. But it's really kind of amazing how when these minerals start to shift and rebalance and you get rid of the things, all the toxins, how you can just feel it shifting in your body. I'm a week in, or 10 days maybe, and I am really noticing some differences. I mean, I'm sleeping better. I'm still having a little bit of some detox issues. I've got a little bit of a rash here on my eye. So if I didn't know better, I would have stopped. I would have been like, oh my God, this is horrible. But I know the shifting is happening in my body, and I'm getting rid of all this crap I didn't even realize I had. So it's pretty cool, pretty amazing, and totally reinforces what I have always believed: do not supplement blindly. You know, a couple basic supplements, if you don't know what you need, a couple basic supplements are okay in moderation, but I have seen too many people just take supplement after supplement after supplement, and honestly, that just totally wrecks your gut, and I think puts you at a disadvantage overall. So I hope you found something useful out of this. I will be talking to you Friday morning. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Going to be some kind of food. I'm thinking about doing a talk on mineral salt and the health benefits of that. If you have any ideas, drop it in the comments. I will not be cooking because I will not be in a kitchen. Stephanie, give me some ideas. You came up with a good one last week. All right. Bye, Kate.